The video shows cops arresting a man, so the question arises, what has the man committed? Stay tuned to the video till the end to find out what's going on.
How you doing, sir?
Good.
All right.
What's up?
Deputy Troy with the Sheriff's Office. The reason
Okay.
I'm stopping you is your plate's obstructed.
Yeah.
Whatever that thing's got, you got to take it off, okay?
Okay.
Because it got to be visible within a certain distance.
All right.
Now, when you went to driving school and a cop pulls you over, what they tell you?
Oh, you pull over when it's safe to do.
No, you pull over immediately.
The officer stops the man and warns him that the reason he was stopping him is that whatever the thing he has to take it off. It has to be seen from a particular distance now. When you go to a driving school and a cop pulls you over, you're told to pull over when it's safe to do so. I'm not sure what you're doing inside this car, if you know what I mean. Safety comes first, therefore pull over immediately if for any reason I believe it is unsafe.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
when you keep rolling, it makes it go to from like just a routine deal to
Yeah, I
like.
just didn't want to stop right there in the road where there's nowhere to pull over.
Yeah, well, I initially turned on right when you were in front of that little
I could've
store.
wanted to get sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so you know what I mean?
But you were like way back there. I didn't know if you're running your sirens for me or for.
Well, and then even then, when you see sirens going, what are you supposed to do? Still keep going or pull over so the cops can go past
Yeah,
you?
sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The officer further explains to the man his driving lesson and what got him suspicious.
Former NDOC, and I used to work security at Harris.
Oh, okay.
I'm a contractor.
After the officer finished his incorrect driving lesson, he started asking questions to the man that could incriminate him. So, let's see further what he did.
My partner called me. I'm a contractor with Southwest Gas.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to go over there and get him logged into his computer.
Okay.
So I was kind of in a rush.
Hey, you live where?
Here in Carson City.
Where at?
Imperial. 33330.
I haven't stopped you before, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to, because you said, but I can't. In my mind,
The man then gives him the answer to all of his questions. The officer asks him where he lives and has he stopped him before. The officer further asks him if he has any guns in the car. The cop then checks out the car to see if he's telling the truth.
28. I copy. X-ray 5. The 28th is going to be 8 Victor Union Tom 670 California. So you just got the car, right?
In November.
Or okay.
Yeah.
Well, because you gave me this, that's why.
Sure. Yeah, it's whatever's.
The man continues, as I said, you know what, when you're this far behind though, to me it was like, all right, is this man pulling me over or what's going on? Yeah, once I'm on there and I don't have anywhere to pull over, you know what I mean? I didn't want to just pull over and stop clogging up traffic at that point.
Like, all right, is this guy pulling me over or what's going on?
Yeah.
So once I'm on there and I ain't got nowhere to pull over, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't want to just pull over and stop and hold up traffic like that. So.
And at that point, we'll make that call. If there's too much traffic, we'll make that call for you.
The officer informs the man that he's passing information on to his partner so he can run and check on the man. The officer goes to the other side of the car and tells the man to lower the glass. The cop realized that this man couldn't shut up and was willing to answer additional questions. He became determined to discover something damning to utilize in order to arrest the man. Fortunately for this cop, he finally obtained what he desired. So, what did this man reveal? Let's find out.
What do you got right there up front?
That's a siren. I contract. I do contract.
You contract?
So some of the work I do requires to have a siren.
A siren?
This used to be a practice.
Yeah.
Some of the I contracted.
The officer then asks him, what do you have right there in front of you? The man responds, I got some contract strip to have sirens. The officer asks him further to turn it on. The cop returns and says, I'm going to take you out like this just to check. And, okay, we'll push that one for you. Put that down for now. So you're not in law enforcement, are you? You're a cop now, but you work security, right?
So I'm going to put these on for now, okay? Because when relax.
Yeah, I contract work, so I have to have lights on the vehicle for some work.
They shouldn't be that color.
Yeah, they shouldn't be red and white, brothers.
No, it depends on who you're contracting with. If you contract with law enforcement,
Which agencies do you contract with?
it varies. It's DOJ.
Name, son. DOJ? So you have
DOJ.
contract?
I've worked.
Okay, so you have a government ID?
I have a contract.
Where's that?
The cop arrests him and tells him, I want to relax track work, so I need to have lights on the vehicle somewhere. They shouldn't be that color, brother. They shouldn't be red and white. With what agency do you work?
This shit too?
Federal Bureau of Investigation?
The cop was only being pleasant when he revealed how he obtained the device, since he was a contract special security agent. At that point, the seemingly friendly cop transformed into a cop determined to put the man in jail.
So I'm going to read you your rights too, okay?
Sure.
Because you're handcuffed, you know what I mean? So I feel more comfortable that way.
That's fine.
So you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used in the court of law.
Yeah.
You have the right to talk to an attorney, have him present with you prior to any questioning if you wish one.
Sure.
If you cannot afford one will be provided to you by the courts. Okay, have your rights in mind. You want to talk to me? Let me see this thing over here.
The officer replies, I'll also read you your rights. Okay, you're chained, you know what I mean, so I'm more comfortable that way, and the other rights are unaffected. You state that Canada will be utilized in court law if the appropriate decision is made to return him to prison with you prior to any questioning. If you can't afford one, the courts will supply one for you. Okay, I have your money rights. If you want to talk to me, let me know.
No guns, right?
Nah.
Inside the car?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool, because, like I said, man, too, there's money in. Put back in, so I'll put it in the bag, okay? So the reason that you're in cuffs, okay, is per NRS. Unless you're a sworn officer.
I know in Nevada everybody states.
Yeah, you're not allowed to have red and blues.
Sure.
Right? Because then you
Sure.
could easily impersonate
I'm red.
a police officer.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, that's the reason I have you in cuffs.
Oh.
Okay?
All right.
You have this.
The officer checks him out, asking if he has a gun. Further, he reveals that according to NRS, you're not allowed to have red and blue lights, unless you're a sworn officer, because it allows you to easily resemble a police officer. Yeah, that's why I have you in cuffs, okay? You have this?
So who issued this to you?
My former employer.
Your former employer? So
Yeah.
you used to work for the FBI at one point?
I've contracted with the Department of Justice and the FBI and other
Here in
Reno.
Where's their office at or what?
Resident agency. It's off of it's next to Wells Fargo. It's right by the traffic circle there.
Okay. I'm just throwing out because I have no idea where they're at.
The officer further asked him what has issued this to him and where are they. The man further states that he works for Southwest Gas too, part-time, and has his own cybersecurity company. The cop takes his answer and adds, well, this right here is a guard card. Yeah, that's Nevada. That's Private Investigators Licensing Board. That's the issue. Yes, and I mean, you're permitted to obtain this because you're a private investigator or a private security guard.
Sure, be like, hey,
yeah.
go follow my wife or do
Yeah.
whatever, right?
Yeah,
But you have to go through.
No. I'm also I'm a cybersecurity researcher. Also, I don't have to do all of that. To hire me as a PI, I don't even need that. You can hire me as a hacker.
So where did you get this?
That's what I've worked.
The cops then ask him if something irrelevant to see his answer, and they can catch him if he's lying. The cops then ask the man if he can follow his wife because he thinks she is cheating on him. The other's still suspicious and says he's going to call somebody if he's impersonating an FBI officer. The cop inspected every aspect of the man in his car for incriminating materials, including the guy's personal financial information, such as his crypto wallet details. This cop was so stupid he didn't identify those details, disclosing them to the entire world. Any good crypto hacker might have utilized those details to empty this agent's crypto wallet. The only thing the special agent did wrong was having a disguised car plate. Everything else was in violation of his constitutional rights as a U.S. citizen and special agent.
Saying y'all can't sell.
I don't want to be filmed, so I'm going to ask you to leave.
Hours later.
How you doing?
She kind of filled me in on what was going on. Did she explain to you that they can't sell baby formula once they return it?
After
Against
she
the law.
already did.
Okay, it's time to go.
So if it's
And you're
against the
banned
law.
from here. They don't want you back in here.
Okay.
So if you come back, what's your name?
You don't need my name.
Oh yeah, I do.
You sure you know the law?
Yes, sir. I think I know the law.
Okay.
In this incident, a citizen engaged in a heated encounter with two police officers over his refusal to provide his identification. The encounter began when the officers approached the individual and asked for his name. The citizen, asserting his knowledge of the law, questioned the officer's authority to request his identification without reasonable cause.
So what's happened?
I really don't want to talk about it now because
That's fine.
you
I've been what?
you breaking my constitutional rights, sir.
Oh, I am. Okay.
I promise you are.
Okay.
But I just like you don't
Haven't
want to
broken
explain to
your
me, I'm not gonna
constitutional
teach you. You should already know these things. So
The younger officer, seemingly more informed about citizens' rights, attempted to explain to the older officer why the individual was not legally obligated to provide his name.
They'll try to get you to put your hands on it and try to get you to
ain't
put them in
touched him.
trust. I know, Pete. Just listen.
But if he called it a disturbance,
I understand completely. But their goal
Get
is
his name.
they want
Check
to
him for
sue.
warrant.
No,
Their
you're
goal
breaking
is-
my constitutional rights
goal is they
by
want to
threatening
sue.
to take me to jail for not giving you my name when I haven't committed a crime.
The citizen expressed his frustration with the older officer for attempting to infringe upon his constitutional rights and accusing him of breaking the law.
You're the one wanting to cause trouble, not me.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I would have just left. But you thought I didn't know what I was talking about. You thought you was just gonna break my constitutional
They wanted
rights.
you gone. I want to ban you. I want to run your
That's
ID.
fine.
and
I
check
ain't
you for
broke a law
warrants
though.
And then let you go.
I ain't
But
broke.
since now you want to stay and you want to wait for my supervisor to come and talk to you, we gonna stay here and we're gonna wait on him.
He gonna come talk to
Okay.
you. He ain't
All right.
coming to talk to me,
Oh, we
buddy.
gonna talk to you.
All right.
The younger officer acknowledged the citizen's concerns and emphasized the importance of de-escalation. As the conversation unfolded, the older officer initially insisted that the citizen was being detained and would have to wait for a supervisor. However, once the younger officer clarified that the citizen was not required to show his ID, the older officer changed his stance and expressed a desire to leave. The citizen pointed out the inconsistency in the officer's behavior, highlighting how the officer had initially claimed he was being detained but now was ready to depart.
He came in and barged in on me like I don't know my rights and I ain't got none at all. So
But you know,
Ask him your name.
there's constitutional rights, there's federal law, and then you got state laws
nothing
too, right?
trumps those constitutional rights, sir. Nothing.
Okay.
You should know that.
Okay.
Just in case you have to, just in
I
case
got
you lose your badge,
I got you.
you should understand that your constitutional rights.
Hey, if you got
That's
me
top
here,
dog, buddy.
you got me here, you got me here. But guess
But
what?
you've been nice, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. I promise, man.
So
Good
can I-
energy,
Can I
man.
ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Have I been ugly?
Have you got any money yet
Any money?
Yeah.
Plenty.
from suing?
Nah, I don't need to do that.
So
I
you
have
have
been
nice
Nah, I don't need to.
How was I not nice?
I
to you?
asked him, man. I
Did I
didn't.
ask you your name?
Hey, it's all good.
I-
I'm
nah.
not worried about it. Peace. Yeah.
Ask him. He told me I was resisting arrest in front of all
I never
these,
told you that.
in front of all these people in
You
Walmart,
said,
as if
"Why
I'm a
do I have
criminal,
to give you
man.
your name?" I
All
said,
right,
"Because
man. Come on, man.
You
But did you not tell me I had to give you my name?
huh?
Did you not tell me I had to give you
Well,
my
I said
name?
you needed
So
to.
here's
No,
what
you
I'm
said
gonna
you had to
Yeah,
give me.
here's what
I
I'm
had
gonna
to
teach
give you my
do.
name.
It's hot. I'm gonna sit in my beautiful AC car.
Man, you
while we
blessed,
wait on
man.
my
I
supervisor.
got to stand out here and wait on the supervisor, man. It is hot.
The conversation continued with discussions about constitutional rights and the role of law enforcement in protecting the public. The citizen asserted that his constitutional rights were more significant than any potential disturbance at a Walmart store, referencing his right to privacy and freedom from unwarranted searches or detentions. The officers defended their actions, citing a disturbance at the store as the reason for their inquiry.
Because I got stuff I got to do, but you got me
No,
detained now.
well-
So we got each other detained.
Well, you should have
He's on his
came
way.
in.
You talk to him, and then I'm out of here.
You should have came with a de-escalating spirit and not the one you in.
Okay. Okay.
Get me on camera. Unlawful detainment. For what? For what?
All the disturbance in Walmart.
I ain't caused no disturbance. I was as quiet as
wasn't here,
a
but
mouse
that's what
standing
they
right
called
there.
us. When you look on my call,
It's on camera.
the signal on the call says a 25, which is a disturbance.
Does that camera lie? Neither does mine.
That's right.
You
And I
understand?
wasn't here when the disturbance was going on.
You didn't care to
Did
be
their
here. You
cameras
could have got
lie?
my
Because
side.
they probably have cameras on the whole
You could have
thing.
got my side.
Tried to.
No, you didn't.
But you just want to
It's
talk
on
about
camera.
constitutional rights,
Right.
and you want to talk about pot stirring stuff, because you're trying to stir a
My
pot.
constitutional rights is more important than you trespassing me from Walmart for something you ain't even discussed amongst us.
Yeah.
This
I
is a
just asked you what your name
this,
was.
this is a private owned
I
business.
asked you what your name
I'm the
was.
public.
How is it wrong for me
I'll
to
pay
ask
you.
what your name is?
I'll pay you.
How is it
I live
wrong?
right around the corner. You just
I
ran
wear
my name.
on here.
You
How-
just ran my
how is it
name.
wrong
I'll
for me
pay
to
my
ask you?
taxes that pay you.
Throughout the interaction, tensions escalated, with the citizen becoming increasingly frustrated with what he perceived as a violation of his rights. The encounter concluded with the arrival of a supervisor who took over the situation. The citizen expressed his desire to have his side of the story heard, but the conversation reached an impasse as the officers maintained their position.
For Presley, badge number is 1679.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
He just broke
He
my
wanted to talk to
constitutional
you.
right.
Okay. The hell's that?
Under the threat of arrest, he told me I had to give him my name and I hadn't broken the law.
Well,
I just want you to explain to him that
The incident raises questions about the officer's understanding of citizens' rights and their handling of the situation. The citizen argued that his rights were being violated, while the officers defended their actions based on the reported disturbance. The encounter highlights the need for better training and awareness of constitutional rights among law enforcement personnel to ensure the citizens' rights are respected and protected during interactions with police.
County building. I'm a journalist working on a story on the building and just taking a couple of video of the place and going to the clerks, filing some full requests, and be on my way.
In this clip from a YouTube channel, a citizen encounters two sheriff's deputies inside a county building. The citizen refuses to provide identification when asked, asserting that it would violate their Fourth Amendment rights. The deputies insist that signing in and providing identification is a requirement to enter the public building.
That's what I signed in as. I'm Erie County. No, thank you, sir.
Yes, that's the rule.
There's a violation of the Fourth Amendment to violate the Fourth Amendment.
You have to sign in. You have to use your.
I did sign in.
Your last name is not Erie County. And show me your ID.
I'm here working as Erie County.
If your last name is Erie County, then you could stay. Come on, let's go.
I'm not leaving this.
The citizen argues that he is being asked to sign in and show identification without reasonable suspicion of a crime, and that's a Fourth Amendment violation.
We don't have time to do what you're doing.
Let's go.
I'm not doing anything.
Let's
Do
go.
not touch me. Do not touch me.
They call up for a supervisor to come and educate the deputies about the law. The encounter escalates as the citizen questions the deputies' knowledge of the Constitution and their understanding of civil rights.
These guys are violating my First Amendment rights and Fourth Amendment rights. They're impeding my traffic. They're causing illegal detention. They're refusing to put their body cameras on while they're violating my rights. I'm just trying to go to the county clerk's office and record my interactions, which is perfectly legal. You need to explain to them the freedom of the press, First Amendment, in public places.
Despite the citizens' attempts to assert their rights, the deputies persist in their demands for identification. The situation becomes tense as the deputies physically restrain the citizen, leading to accusations of assault and battery. The citizens remain steadfast, advocating for their freedom of the press and the right to document their experience in a public space.
Get ready to do some paperwork.
You're free to leave.
Oh, free to leave, free to stay.
That way.
Free to leave, free to go, free to stay. That's the way it works, guys. If I'm not being trespassed because I'm not doing anything illegal, you guys cannot impede my traffic.
Well, you didn't sign in.
I did sign in. Do you understand that?
No, you didn't.
I signed in. And you guys are going to know very, very, very well. You, especially you. You are going to know who I am very well by the time this is over, my friend. You too. You ignorant sons of... This is what we pay for, guys. These are the sheriffs down here. They just think they can detain people willy-nilly, ID people on demand, to be inside of a public building.
What are you, one of these sovereign citizen types?
No, I don't have a badge like that. Those are the sovereign citizens. They can violate people's rights and get away with it and have these big stupid smiles on their faces and shit. Yeah, those are the real sovereign. Look at her. She knows that's the sovereign citizenship. Look at that smile. She can't even hide it. That's real sovereign citizenship right there.
Eventually, the sheriff arrives at the scene. The citizen expresses their concerns about the violation of their civil rights, including the deputy's demand for identification and the refusal of service at the county clerk's office. The sheriff defends the deputy's actions, stating that the situation is being addressed.
How are you, sir?
You're the sheriff of the county?
I am.
This deputy and that deputy is violating my civil rights. They are also put their hands on me and assaulted me or battered me unlawfully because they do not have a lawful command to tell me to turn my camera off in this public space. You know that as a sheriff. I'm here to document my experience, and these guys are stopping me, causing illegal detention on my rights.
It doesn't look like you're being detained to me.
All right, thank you.
However, the citizen continues to argue that their rights have been violated.
You are violating the First Amendment rights and refusing service down here. That's all I want to know. You say yes?
Why don't we get a hold of the clerk's office and see if they want to see it?
Do the clerks have a choice who they get to see and don't get to see?
So,
When did that law come into effect?
They're down there talking to her right now.
I understand, but why is this door locked, Sheriff?
It's locked.
Why?
So,
Sheriff, why is this door locked?
if they're gonna
allow public services to public, what is going on here? You guys are violating my rights.
there's no rights being violated.
There's no rights being violated? I can't go to the county clerk's office because of why? Because of the camera?
I'm sure you'll get there at some point.
When you educate your officers about my First and Fourth Amendment rights, they think they can get ID out of me to come into a public building. Do you agree with that, Sheriff? Sheriff, do you have to show ID to get into this public building? Do you have to show your driver's license?
You have to write your name down.
I did write my name down there, who I am.
Throughout the clip, the deputies display a lack of knowledge about constitutional rights and demonstrate a dismissive attitude towards the citizens' concerns. The encounter sheds light on the need for better education and training within law enforcement regarding citizens' rights and the importance of respecting those rights during interactions. The clip concludes with the announcement that the sheriff involved is retired and the failure of the department in handling the situation was exposed in local news coverage. The citizens' resilience in standing up to harassment and bullying is commended, and the clip serves as a reminder of the significance of holding law enforcement accountable for their actions. In the incident, Anthony X, a knowledgeable individual, engaged in a confrontation with patrol officers who approached him while he was recording in a public area.
Am I detained?
You're detained for reasonable suspicion right now, okay?
Of what crimes? Is that a misdemeanor or felony?
I believe it's a misdemeanor right now.
Anthony X asserted his rights and cited California Penal Code 148G and the Tom Bain Civil Rights Act to emphasize that his filming activities were protected by law.
The camera walking around, you have no right to detain me. Just so you know, if you interfere with my activity in any way, shape, or form, you will be in violation of California Penal Code 148.G and the Tom Bain California Act, which you can use your qualified immunity. I will sue you personally. 152.2 subsection B. Think your words wisely. Once again, am I free to go? Am I free to go?
He firmly stated that the officers had no right to detain him and warned them about potential legal consequences for interfering with his constitutional rights. After asserting his freedom to go, the officers acknowledged that he was not being detained.
It's public. I've never been trespassed from this area.
Stay off the secured.
I've never been in a secured area.
Stay off the secured airport property.
All right, do me a favor, and I'm open to a cordial conversation. Yeah. Since I'm not detained at this moment, I have no problem.
You're free to go.
At this point, no, I'm just curious.
Nope.
So,
there's no detention. Right?
Okay, so I'd like the incident number, please. I will be doing a FOIA request on all information and body cam.
Anthony X requested the incident number and expressed his intention to submit a Freedom of Information Act request for all relevant information and body camera footage. The incident highlighted the importance of citizens' awareness of their rights and holding law enforcement accountable for respecting those rights.
Sorry?
That's not the way this goes. Who are you?
I'm Sergeant Barry Anson, Fort Wayne Police Department. How are you?
Good.
What's your name?
I didn't give it.
I know. I want to know what your name is.
I don't care what you want. Well, that's not the policy.
The Secret Service.
I don't care.
Us to identify
then why don't they come out here and talk to me?
They will in a moment.
Okay, go ahead. Am I being detained?
What's your name?
Am I being detained?
What is your name?
Am I being detained?
Throughout the interaction, the citizen emphasized his rights and challenged the officers to justify their actions. He adamantly refused to comply with their demands, aware that his rights were being infringed upon. The citizen recognized the importance of knowledge about local laws and confidently navigated the situation using legal citations to support his arguments.
Nope.
All right, stop.
No. Am I being detained?
Yes, you are being
detained. Am I being detained?
Identify who you are.
That's not the way this goes.
Well, I don't care what you say.
Okay. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. I'm not.
Sir,
no.
The Secret Service has
I don't care.
To identify
I don't care what they want.
Okay.
That's not the way this goes.
I understand that.
Show me the law.
The incident shed light on the issue surrounding law enforcement officers' reliance on ID requests without reasonable cause. The citizen demonstrated the significance of understanding one's rights and the laws governing such encounters. By standing his ground and refusing to provide identification when it was not required by law, he effectively challenged the officers' authority and highlighted their lack of legal justification. This citizen's actions underscored the importance of citizens being informed about their rights and the laws governing law enforcement encounters. His knowledge and assertiveness in the face of an overzealous response from the officers served as a powerful reminder of the need for accountability and adherence to proper protocols and law enforcement practices.